Oh, hooray! So, it's a minute to 12 or 12 noon on this side of the earth, and I'm having another great conversation with another great soul today, the 11th of July, 2023. And people ask me, why is it I'm always connecting to beautiful people? Of course, I like my life to be beautiful. A friend of mine made that comment. I think it was 3 days ago. She said to me that she's always on my timeline is always about beautiful women, beautiful. Don't you ever have ugly women that you can showcase? I'm like, why do you call that? Why do you say that? And she's like, she even told me that she downloaded one like that was so close to me that she wants to send to me. All means my life has to be beautiful. So I'm connecting with beautiful people, both handsome men and beautiful women. And today I'm with another beautiful woman, and she's doing amazing in the health space, especially for pregnant women. And today we're going to be having the conversations. I mean, when I heard that story, I said to her that I wanted to host her specifically, but because of series of events, my birthday and other things, that couldn't hold. But this is the first. This is just the one that I'm doing for. I think she instigated this one, and I'm doing it. The one that I promised I will still do it another day. So today is another time for us to have conversation, and I'm glad that I have Doctor here with me, Dr. Ifunanya. I like to call her Dr. Ifi for short, but don't call her that. Please call her Dr. Ifunanya. She's here with me, and we'll be looking at pregnancy, pregnant career women, and the challenges that they face. And she has an amazing solution for women who are running building their careers. And when they get to the point of pregnancy, they start to have certain challenges. She's going to be sharing with us her story, how she started out, her journey, her observation, and what she's doing. It's not enough for you to observe something and complain about it. Maybe you could come up with an effective solution that can help to solve that particular problem or that particular challenge. And I'm glad that she did not rest just at complaining or doing a campaign or antagonizing about it, but now she's running something that is helping pregnant women who are building their careers, especially when they get pregnant. All right, so guys, if you're joining us on this live stream, there's something that we do here as a ritual. We want you to share your name in the comment section. Let's know where you're tuning in from so that we can thank you for joining us in the live stream. And then you do share the live stream, all right? So that great ideas ought to be shared. Great ideas ought to be given a push. And so if you share this to your timeline, individuals will be part of what we are doing and learn, and also to better their own lives, and also to share the message to as many individuals that they also connect to. All right, so I'm seeing people who are coming in from YouTube, from LinkedIn, and also from my Facebook timelines. All right, so thank you, John Asuko. First time that you are joining my live, maybe we'll ring a bell for you. Thank you, Tananana, for coming in. Machuku Margaret from Lagos, thank you. Hope from Kaduna. Opera Francisca from Port Harcourt. Dave Sings, a day I don't know where you're tuning in from. Ibadan, a day Fire Beniza. All right, so please invite your friends now. This is what we do on our live streams. Tag 10 of your friends to be here, all right? Especially the women. So tag 10 women, all right? Tag them in the comment section. Mention their name to be part of what we are doing right now, all right? Go ahead and tag 10 women in the comment section. Tell them to come in to see what we're doing, this conversation, and then also share the live stream. There's a share button just beneath the screen, all right? The rectangular screen you're seeing us, just tap the share button and you can share this live stream to your timeline. All right, so go ahead and tag and tag and tag. Go ahead and share and share and share. I'll be back again to know if you actually shared. All right. Okay, so Dr. Ifi, good to
Yeah,
have you here all the way from Lagos. I love your smiles, man.
thank you.
Welcome, welcome. All right, so your story is amazing. You've done an amazing thing. Please go ahead, introduce yourself, and then share with us how your story has been and what you've done, what you observed, what you've done, and what you're consistently still doing. Um, and then I want to say thank you publicly to that thing you brought to me in Lagos. Tapioca and all right, tapioca and nuts. Thank you for that. I mean, there are little things that actually touch people's hearts. I have with me here a bottle of granite. I mean, somebody brought this to me here in Owerri, and it's this kind of gifts that really, touch you because someone just found something that you are really craving for, and then they do it for you. All right. So thank you for that gift in Lagos. God bless you for that. All right. So go ahead and share with us, your journey so far, man.
All right. Thank you so much for having me, Didon. It's a privilege being on your timeline and, having to have a lot of people listening to me today to share my story on how all this started, the motivation behind it, my why, the ups and downs, and where we are today. It's a huge privilege. So thank you so much for the opportunity. Hi everyone, if you're listening to me, I am Dr. Ifnaya Igweze. I'm a medical doctor by profession, and right now I lead the team at Preggify. And just like every other person in Nigeria, I grew up in Nigeria, in southeastern part of Nigeria, did my primary education like every other person from in my village. I grew up in the village. Yeah. So like every other kid, I attended the central school in my village. We played together, grew up together. Then my secondary school education was also done in my town. So why I'm sharing this backstory is to tell you that the person you are listening to was not born in the US or in the United Kingdom or even in Lagos State, and she was not a privileged kid. I was just like every other kid out there. My secondary education, I did it in my town too. It was a community school. But again, there are times in life when opportunity present themselves and then you take advantage of it. And that would be part of my story because when I was in just S3, in junior secondary school 3, for those in Nigeria, I saw one of my senior students then got admission to study at Loreto Special Science School at Adazi. Loreto was rated #1 in female special science school in Anambra State then. And I saw the way she was accorded respect by the teachers, the principal, and I wanted the same for myself because I was doing well for myself in my class. And then I organized a few students from my class. We are about 6 of us. I thought they were going to write the same exam that this lady has written, this student has written, and we are going to go to that same school so that the school can, accord us the same respect. And then they agreed. We saved up our money, our pocket money, and then got the form, prepared, and luckily for me, I passed with my cousin, and then we were posted to Loreto Special Science School, and that was amazing. And the day we came to tell the principal that we were posted to Loreto, you see the kind of respect they accorded to us in front of the whole students. It was just so amazing. And that was the beginning of life of impossibility, life of possibility on my own path. So many things that seemed impossible for me because of where I grew up, because of my family background. My dad was a tailor, my mom was a seamstress and a petty trader. And so I started seeing possibilities the moment I entered social science school. And guess what? I didn't tell anybody about this, and I didn't even know where the finance is going to come from. Okay. But when I entered, God made it possible. My family raised money and I entered boarding house. And Lorito, I saw different people from different schools, people that were topping their classes. And it was the whole world of challenge for me. And that opened my mindset. It's opened my mindset that, oh, these people that are rich, some of them are rich, majority of them are rich, some of them came from Lagos. They were topping their classes. And here I am from a community school in the same school with them, and it opened my eyes to possibilities. And that possibility has always fueled everything I do. And I got admission to study medicine, was on scholarship by someone from my town, and it gave me reasons to push more because God is bringing people my way. It gave me reason to push more. But when I entered medical school, I was just like an average student. Every other student, we go to school, we do our stuff. Medical school, you have to read, write your exams, and all that. Nothing was pushing me further. Nothing was pushing me further except that motivation to read my books and become a doctor, at least to make my sponsor proud and my family proud. Until 2015, when I was in fourth year, no, 2016, when I was in fifth year, I'm a kind of someone that loves to observe. Is my one of my superpower as a medical student. I love to observe, and whatever I see tends to be in my mind. So it helps me to read less theory because I see more. I entered the children's emergency ward, and then I saw this woman that was crying and rolling on the floor. And we know that in hospitals, only death or severe diseases that can make a mother to wail like that in the hospital. Then I approached the nurses and asked them, "Oh, what's happening to this woman and why is she crying unconsolably?" And they said the baby died from vomiting and diarrhea. She had been having vomiting for days, and before she was brought to the hospital. And that's at that point, my heart shattered into pieces because my family lost my younger brother. If he's in Nigeria, say immediate younger brother. We lost my younger brother when he was barely one to the same vomiting and diarrhea. He was on that when we lost him. And imagine someone we lost like in year 2000 and in 2015, 16, almost 15 years later, women, uh, babies in Nigeria are still dying from the same cause. And I was just a student, I didn't know what to do. Until 2017, there was this opportunity that came up for us to travel to Abuja. I schooled in Anambra State, to travel to Abuja and get some training on women's health, sexual and reproductive health. And I paid for that training, even though I didn't know what it was fully about. And then I went to Abuja. That singular training changed my life because when I went for that training, I saw my fellow students from other parts of the country and outside the country, like they were doing amazing things. They were doing things in their community. They were engaged in community development. They were doing a lot, and I was motivated. When I came back from that training, I came back to school. I approached my school president and said, we need to do something more. We need to set up a peer education trainers club in the school and train students so that we can go into the community and make impact, even within the hospital, premises, among the patients. So the motivation is that, okay, if we can train more women about pregnancy, about childcare, we're going to limit the number of deaths of newborn or complications that comes with pregnancy. And we set up a club in school. We call it Concept Education Trainers Club, and we started our advocacy. That was my last year in school, and in 2018, I graduated. And then there was an opportunity for me to go for another training in Rwanda. No, all these trainings were not free. It was actually paid for. But because I was looking for more, something in me has been opened. I've seen that students were doing more, and I wanted to do more. And then I paid for that training in Kigali City, Rwanda. It was a 3 week training. Went for that training, and I mingled with students from Romania, Italy, France, students from everywhere, Ghana. And I saw different perspectives to what we do here in Nigeria. And when I came back in that 2018, because I had graduated, I started my own organization called Life Mother and Child Initiative. And we stayed going to remote villages, remote places in Anambra State to teach women about pregnancy, about childcare. We went to school, so we're doing rural advocacy at that level. For me then, I thought that the gap in pregnancy education and early childcare education in Nigeria was among the illiterate community. So we focused more on those illiterate community. But something changed. I did that 2018, 2019. In fact, I was even doing a radio show on Igbo language just to make sure that these women we are targeting understand what we were doing. Until 2020, after I got married and I had to move to Lagos to join my husband, I was pregnant then, and then I moved to Lagos. Coronavirus pandemic happened, and then I saw another challenge that is facing the maternal health care in Nigeria. When I came to Lagos in April, it was a week before the lockdown, and I noticed that accessing pregnancy care was very, very difficult. The lockdown, the roadblock, and then the feeling of what if I go to the hospital and get exposed? Someone like me, I was pregnant, I am asthmatic, I had risk factors that should keep me away from the hospital. But again, I need to assess pregnancy care in the hospital because that was my only option. If I want to know how my baby is doing, if I want to check my urine test, if I want to check my blood pressure, I need to go to the hospital to do this. And this was exactly the same issue that many women in Nigeria, especially at that point, Lagos State was facing during the pandemic. As a doctor, yeah, even though we're not allowed to go to the hospital as we're supposed to do. So I got my testing kit at home, my BP, blood pressure apparatus. I got everything at home and I was doing it and monitoring myself. Once in a while, I zoom into the hospital for my scan and then to interact with doctors and then I go home. This was a huge challenge which COVID-19 brought to us, and it caused a lot of complication, pregnancy complication, because we were not prepared for it. Prior to COVID-19 pandemic, women seek for pregnancy care majorly in the hospital. And if the hospital is shut down, or during the flooding in other parts of the country, when hospitals were submerged in water, women's records and their claims were underwater, and those women were stranded. There were no other way for them to access pregnancy care, and they were stranded. Can you imagine the level of complications that would have happened that were not recorded? If we go into it, it's going to be, you're going to shed tears. And these are unmet needs of pregnant women in Nigeria that nobody is talking about. After the COVID-19 pandemic, I started working in the primary health care, doing my youth service, and then I got an attachment role in a private hospital for me to teach the pregnant women under supervision. It was at that point that one of my clients, I started seeing a different challenge facing women, because right now I've moved from resource poor area I was focused on in Anambra State. So when I came to Lagos State, I'm now working in an environment that had career women, business women, coming in for antenatal care. And something happened. Not even something, a lot happened. But I'm going to just share two stories for the sake of this live session. The first thing that happened in 2021 was this lady, she was pregnant, and trust me, she was over 35. So if you are familiar with what we call high-risk pregnancies, if a woman is just getting pregnant for the first time at 35 and above, it's considered a high-risk pregnancy. This woman was above 35 and she was pregnant. She was working, so she wasn't even listening to everything we're saying about high-risk pregnancy, coming from a more focused antenatal care or not. She didn't have time, and we see her once in a while, and it's not like somebody was following her up. There was no platform then to follow her up. So what happens is that if you register for antenatal in the hospital, any day they see you, okay, fine. Any day they don't see you, fine. They will just tell you, madam, you are not coming, no, you need to be coming. And if the hospital is gracious enough, they are going to put a call across to you and tell you, madam, we are not seeing you, what is happening? So there's no structure in place to make sure that even if these women are not coming to the hospital, they are still being monitored, they are still being followed, and they are not losing out entirely. When this woman went away and nobody was following her up, we put a call once across to her. She said, don't worry, I'm going to come, doctor, I'm very fine, nothing is happening to me. And then at 38 weeks, 38 weeks is above 9 months. That's 9 months is 36 weeks, so it's about 9 months and 2 weeks. Then she was rushed into the hospital. She was bleeding and she was almost unconscious. And we were asking, we did a bedside ultrasound, found out that her placenta has separated, her blood pressure was above 200, her bedside urinalysis, there were proteins in her urine. So she was already having hypertension in pregnancy, preeclampsia, and now it's complicated to placental separation, which we call placenta abrasion. It would have taken her life. She had an emergency surgery immediately, and the baby was already dead. We're not even discussing that one. The baby was already dead. Her life was we managed to save her life, and she came out fine. After her period of healing, I called her and said, "What happened? Why were you not coming? Don't you know that pregnancy can take any direction at any point?" She said she was working. Her office didn't give her any allowance to be coming to the hospital. There were a lot of conditions and targets for her to meet. And because she was not feeling anything, she thought that she was okay. Even when she saw that her leg was swollen, her neighbor told her, "Don't worry, pregnancy comes with this thing. I should just be walking around, wear slippers and all that." She didn't know it was a serious sign that could have saved her. And that was how she lost her pregnancy, almost lost her life. Imagine if she had just a simple platform that is taking her on pregnancy classes and teaching her all these things, or even someone following her up and teaching her how to do her own test and check up on herself at home. Don't you think that she will be carrying her baby now? She must have celebrated 2 years birthday for that baby. That was an avoidable loss. The second story I'm about to tell you happened in the same hospital. Another woman. This woman, every time she comes to the pregnancy clinic, before you could say Jack, she has made 5 calls. I'm not even kidding. This is not an exaggeration. She controls trucks around Lagos State, delivering goods to clients. She's calling this driver, calling this, she is always on call. She doesn't have time. And she doesn't come for antenatal teaching because obviously she doesn't have time to even sit down to listen to those teachings. Once she comes into the hospital, everybody knows that you clear road for her to join the office, private clinic, you have that priority. Join the doctor immediately, get her test done sharp, so that within 5 minutes she's off. So she doesn't have time for counseling, time for teaching. She's very busy. She was very busy. And by the time she came for antenatal, we noticed that her blood level was going down. And we said, "Ma, are you taking a routine drug?" She said she take it though, but you know that she's a busy woman, so that she forget that she's pregnant, she forget her drugs. So she doesn't really, usually remember to take it. And sometimes it finishes and she doesn't have time to refill it. Another problem, a career woman, no time to refill her drug, no time. She doesn't remember her drug sometimes. Don't even judge her, because some of us that take anti-malaria, some of times we don't remember to take it. Even when you're supposed to take it in the morning, you remember it in the evening, or you will not take the remaining one tablet that is remaining. So equate it to someone that needs to be taking her routine drugs every day, and she's a busy woman. She was the breadwinner of her family. Let me say it, she was the breadwinner of her family. And by the time she came in towards the end of the third trimester, her blood level was below 25. She was anemic. Her blood level was low. This is something that can claim the life of the baby, or even make the baby to grow inadequately, make the baby to be very small, or even take the life of the mother. All these things are completely avoidable. And when I started listening to these women, I asked myself, where is this problem? Like, what's the roots of this problem? Obviously, it's not these women. And it's not the career. Let me be honest with you. It's not the career. Because you can't tell a woman, imagine if you tell me to stop working after going to school as a medical doctor, then I'm supposed to have a baby, then you tell me to stop working so that I can have time to attend to myself. So you don't think that because I'm a doctor, I'm insulated to this. I also lost my pregnancy while working. We are not insulated. Doctors also have complications because they themselves don't even have time. There are doctors that also erode on our platform. I'm going to get there. So nobody is insulated from this. So it's not a question of telling women, is your career more important than your pregnancy? No. The problem is neither the career nor the pregnancy. The problem is with the healthcare system. The problem is with the healthcare system. This is something I've experimented in the last 1 year. Since June, full as a side hustle in March 2022, and fully as a startup in July 2022. This is something we have experimented, and we saw the results it gave us. The system is the problem, not these women. Why is the system the problem? Let's talk about the system. Currently in Nigeria, For you to, and some other African countries, for you to access pregnancy care, you have to go to the hospital. For you to book, you have to go to the hospital. For you to do your blood pressure, your urinalysis, you have to go to the hospital. For you to get results of the test that you have done in the previous visit, you have to go to the hospital. Everything is in the hospital. And it's not like these hospitals are where you just walk in and in 5 minutes or 10 minutes you are done. No, sweetheart. If you live in a busy city like Lagos State, understand that if your hospital is 1 hour or 2 hours away, you have to spend like 4 hours to get there in traffic. Then when you get to hospital, you queue. If you're going to hospital, you're not just going there to jump into the clinic. There are people that were there before you. And maybe the doctor might be the only doctor in this time that we're even having Japa syndrome, shortage of doctors. The doctor might be the only doctor in that clinic that had to attend to 50 pregnant women, 100 pregnant women in a very short time. The doctor might also be stuck in traffic. And maybe when you get to the hospital and find your folder or key in your details, you have to wait for another 1 hour, 2 hours to access care. These things are tiring. So a lot of women lose their jobs. And it's not even an exaggeration. The research Joberman published in 2021, when you can Google it online, Google why are career women in Nigeria leaving their job by Joberman 2021. You will see that Joberman interviewed career women from different sectors. And you know what they found out? That 70%, in case you don't understand what 70% is, it is 7 out of 10 women. For every 10 women that are employed in Nigeria, 7 out of 10 women are likely to leave their job due to pregnancy and childcare responsibilities. Yes. And you think I would be happy to venture into pregnancy if I know that I'm going to lose my job? So this leaves women with limited choices. Okay, you leave your career now and go and get pregnant and raise a family, or be a career woman and leave family. So you don't have a family of your own, you have to face your career. But if you want to risk the two, you have to be ready for complications. With the current way pregnancy care is being assessed in Nigeria, you have to risk the two. Maintain your job and risk your life or that of your baby. Or risk losing your job if you want to do the two at the same time. So for how long are women going to endure the system that was designed for our mothers? For how long are women going to endure to access care in a manner that is not suitable to them? During my mom's time, they were barely engaged in any activities. The same with my grandmother and others. Majority of them were stay-at-home moms, maybe tending to farm, and you can go to farm anytime you want. You have control over your time. If you are going to the market, you have control over your time. It is not the same now. Women are venturing into daring careers, ascending leadership role, and they are doing that during their reproductive years. And you can't deny them their biological responsibility because they want to be career women. And you cannot tell them, oh, pause your career for, I don't even know how long you're going to pause it, because if you read further in that research Joberman published, see that many women who leave the workspace and say, oh, I'm going to come back, only about 25% comes back in the first 1 year, in the first 1 year. And after 3 years, it goes down to less than 15%. Do you know what this statistics means? It means that maybe we have lost someone that would have saved us of one problem in this country. A woman with a solution has been lost. And nobody's saying a big deal about this. Okay, imagine if when I resigned from my job and I said, I'm not doing it again, let me stay in my husband's house. Do you know how many women have saved through Preggify? What would have been their fate? Because as we're losing these women in the workforce, we are losing a chain of talents. We are losing a chain of solution providers. And because we don't look or explore this, we take it casually. Go and face your family. Go and raise a child. You don't know what the country, what the global community is losing when women leave what the solution, their skill, their natural talents to go and just become pregnancy bearers and child raisers. We are losing a lot economically. And women are faced with risk when they want to combine the two. Talking about system, currently in Nigeria, majorly women, you go for antenatal two weekly or once in a month. I remember a lady that came for antenatal when I was still working in the hospital, and she will come, she has to wait, of course. Maybe she was number 20, and we're just, sometimes it's just me in the clinic or another doctor in the clinic, and we have like 50 people out there. She has to wait. And she might still be there waiting. Our office will call her, your time is up. Your time is up. You need to come back. And trust me, there is no policy in Nigeria currently that is enforced to tell employers to say, oh, if a woman is pregnant in your organization, give her a off day once in a month so that she can go for antenatal. There is no enforceable policy about that currently in Nigeria. And if there is no policy, you have to find influencing policy is a long work. And what can you do now to save yourself? What can we do now to save women? In a bid to save women, I help them to maintain a balance in their work life and still be able to enjoy raising a family, enjoy their family life, and feel fulfilled as women. Preggify was bettered. What exactly do we do at Preggify? And how does it benefit the women that are listening to me and women that are going to encounter us in the future and women that are currently with us? Preggify was created and is currently running as a one-stop platform. What can you do on our platform? We prioritize convenience and timeliness on our platform. Convenience is in the sense that women who are engaged in career or business need to access pregnancy care in a more convenient way without having to spend hours in traffic, hours in waiting area in the hospital. And guess what? The worst case is at the end of the day, these women go in to see a doctor and they don't get more than 5 minutes to 10 minutes to do that. So even the questions they have, even the worries they have are not being attended to. And worst case, their mental health, even in pregnancy, nobody cares about that because there is no time. These women also have limitation with attending pregnancy classes, which is one of the fundamental things that a woman should do during pregnancy. When we highlighted these problems, what are the key problems? Inaccessible healthcare, inaccessible antenatal clinic, inaccessible pregnancy classes. When women have complaints, some of them are very minor, that when they go to the hospital, they leave their job and go to the hospital, close them their shops and go to the hospital and find out that these are something that would have been talked over the phone. It makes them angry. So the women want, if I have complaint now, I'm coughing, I'm vomiting, I am stooling now, I want a doctor now, whether it is in the night or during the daytime, to talk to, so that I can prioritize what takes me to the hospital. I shouldn't go to the hospital for everything. And this is what we Preggify is bridging the gap at. When women are pregnant, let them have free access to healthcare without having to come and add to the crowd in the hospital. I'm not saying you're not going to go to the hospital entirely, no. Women on our platform are booked in a hospital, but their frequency of their visit to the hospital is reduced to over 80% because when they're booked with us, the pregnancy teaching is done online. We have weekly pregnancy classes, and these topics are well curated. So to meet a particular need at the pregnancy level that you are. You get this teaching, and because it's an audio format, you can always go back to it, whether you were at work during the time of this teaching. And they are usually brief, so we don't bombard you with a lot of things. And they are taught in a simplified manner. And when you listen to these teachings, you have a doctor there to ask questions. You ask your questions, you share your worries in the community. So the issue of spending hours in the hospital to assess that education, or even missing out entirely because you don't have time, or most hospitals don't teach because they don't have enough manpower, and you just go through pregnancy without proper knowledge, that one is sorted on our platform. Number two, you have access to a personal doctor. So all your worries, when you have headache, you have cough, you don't know whether it's normal in pregnancy. Let me tell you what happened last year, and I'm going to tell you another how it happened again this year. Last year, this lady lost her pregnancy at 36 weeks. 36 weeks is 9 months. She was stooling at home. This was in February, when the thought of starting Preggify. That time it was reproductive corner with Dr. Ifnaya. The thought just came then, and we set our free class. She said she would start stooling in the second week of the class, but because it was a free class, she thought that she did not have access to talk to me about it, and she didn't even go to the hospital. And she said she thought it was a normal thing. Shebi is diarrhea now. Is it not just diarrhea? Stooling. Does stooling kill anybody? That was her thinking. Until her baby stopped moving. After 2 days of stooling, her baby stopped moving. She went to the hospital. They did scan. The baby was dead. She delivered a dead baby at 9 months. One of the heartbreaking stories that when you hear them, you start asking yourself why. These things are preventable. Fast forward to when we started falling. People that follow me on Facebook, on TikTok, on my social media handle, they know that last year I started doing a campaign against diarrhea in pregnancy. It's still on my TikTok, on my Facebook Reels, okay, I lost the Instagram account. I have a new account now. It's there. Because diarrhea in pregnancy is not the same with diarrhea that is happening to me now. If I'm having diarrhea and I'm not pregnant, it's different. My body can manage for 2 days if it's not that killing. It's not the same. Things that happen to you, that's why malaria kills pregnant women and kills babies, but it doesn't kill adults the way it kills pregnant women. Do you know why? Your immunity in pregnancy is not optimal because you are sharing it with somebody or with people for multiple pregnancy. So you need to be very careful. Right now in our community, when women are having diarrhea, they know what to do. Because from the very first day you join our community, you have a list of things you must keep at home. And ORS is one of them. And when you stay stooling or you're vomiting excessively, you make it, whether it is at 12 midnight, and sometimes this diarrhea comes around 12, 2 a.m., 4 a.m., and before you wake up at 10 a.m., you have already done 8 times. And you think it doesn't matter because you are not collapsing at that point. Then the worst mistake is someone that tells you, oh, take Lomotil so that you can stop it. Hello. If you're having food poisoning, which is very common during pregnancy due to the food you eat outside and the cravings, and you are stopping the diarrhea with anti-diarrhea, all those Lomotil stuff, that bacteria, whatever is the offending organism, is going to rest comfortably in your intestine, and they are going to multiply. And when they multiply, they cause you disaster. So this is why a platform like us is very important. Women on our platform, they understand this because of the weekly classes, access to a doctor. Oh, doctor, we have 4 doctors on our platform right now. Oh, doctor, I am stooling. He said, have you seen an ORS? Say yes. How many times? How are you feeling? What is this now? Ask you 5, 6 questions, and they establish the state you are and know whether they are going to add another step to what you are currently doing. And then they keep an eye on you. Every 2 hours, how are you doing? Has it reduced? How is it happening now? How are you feeling? And we notice that for the women that have gone through on our platform, Only out of 100% that have experienced diarrhea in pregnancy due to maybe food poisoning or hormonal changes, only less than 2% are the people that ended up in the hospital. Only 1 or 2 end up in the hospital for fluid dehydration, for drip. Only 1 or 2. Less than 2%. And this is what you can get when you have a platform that is very accessible. Imagine, do you know that a pregnant woman can have diarrhea like 3 times in pregnancy, in different times in their pregnancy? And imagine you have to zoom into hospital every time you have cough. Remember, you're going to have cough, you're going to have catarrh, you're going to have vomiting, you're going to have stooling, you're going to have waist pain, you're going to have, you're going to complain your baby is not moving. You know, and these things are something that you can solve at home if you're on our platform. You know, imagine going to the hospital every day telling your employer, this week I'm stooling, next week I'm having cough, or next week I'm having fever, the other week my leg is swelling. You know, keep going in and out of hospital. You're going to lose that job. And if you tend to ignore them, you're going to lose your life or that of your baby. It doesn't worth it. That's what I am insisting. That is the system that is the problem. Also on our platform, we do what we call home testing. For women on our platform, mandatorily now, you have to get your BP apparatus, get your urine testing kits, get your thermometers at home. You don't have time, right, to always go to the hospital, no problem. We train you on how to monitor your blood pressure at home, and you have a chart to chart it. Either you are using our pregnancy logbook or you are using your own exercise book to chart it. You do your urinalysis. We train you to do your urinalysis at home. No, you don't need to be a lab scientist. You don't need to be very skilled to do this. You do it at home, and we interpret the results. If you are having sugar, if you do your urinalysis and notice that, oh, there's traces of sugar in your urine, we have to inform you, oh, this is the right time to go back to your hospital and link up with a physician there, because your pregnancy have moved from a low-risk pregnancy to a high-risk pregnancy. If you don't have us, how do you even checkmate all these things? How do you monitor yourself when you are going about your business? How? How do you feel safe? If your baby is not moving now or you're worried, how do you check your baby? You always go to the hospital to tell them. Don't you know you can do it at home? You can do those things at home. And also, don't you know that you may not need to go to the hospital. You may just we can send you on a test and review it for you online, and then record your details that you can give to the hospital when next you go to the hospital. You don't know you can do all those things at home. Do you know that we are including a partner academy on our platform, and it's for free? The partner academy is for free. So there's no more saying, oh, my husband do not know anything. He did not know how to support me in pregnancy. He doesn't understand what happened in pregnancy. It's over. Preggify has an academy for partners now. Your partner enroll and they go through the academy at their own pace. And it's free. Do you know that if your mom, your mother-in-law, your sister-in-law, your sister, your brother-in-law, anybody that is supporting you in pregnancy, your nanny, your cook, if you have them now, you can enroll them on our platform for free to go through their own academy. Are you aware of that? You don't know. Okay, so Preggify brings you ease. Is it the community? You be in the community, you are safe. You know that at every point in time, I am safe here. There's a doctor to talk to. There's a community to cheer me up, even when I am mentally down. Our platform officially is going to launch in 2 weeks. We are doing in-house testing now because we are trying to move our MVP out of WhatsApp. And when it launches, it's going to come with a lot of features, even features that will help you to track your mental health during and after pregnancy. And it's free. These features are free. This tracking are free. When your system tracks your mental health and it gets to a point and you are high risk, it tells you what to do. It tells your partner what to do. Okay? And if you are subscribed to our premium community, your doctor will be triggered to know that, oh, this my client is having prenatal or postpartum depression, and I need to act. Your doctor is triggered automatically, and they provide you support, keeping you mentally sound. Do you know that sometimes in pregnancy, all you just need is someone to say, doctor, you know what? I'm fine, no, but I just want to cry. I just want to vent. I just want to tell you how I feel. I just feel like I'm lonely. I just feel like this. We do that on our platform. Come. You see the shoulder? You go, come. We have it. So you don't need to feel so overwhelmed in pregnancy like your partner is running you crazy because they feel like they don't understand what is going on in your life. Or you just want somebody to, I need somebody to understand, like I'm not sick, but my mental health, we are here. We provide our support. 247. 247. Medical access. Simple, easy to access, reliable, and with professionals. We're not using bots. We're not telling you to go and talk to an AI automated platform. No, you're talking to a real doctor, a real midwife. You're talking to real professionals who has feelings. Some of them have been on this journey and they understand what it means. Also, being on our platform, you have access to our journals, you have access to daily pregnancy tips that is going to be automated on our platform in a few weeks. Sorry about that. I was interrupted by a call. So all these things are automated. You have a full list of, Doc, I don't know what to eat. I don't know the food that is safe and unsafe in pregnancy. We have like if you see the list of safe food and the list of unsafe food that you should avoid, and this is not a question of telling you avoid this, avoid this. If you're avoiding this, what are you replacing it with? All these things are available now on our platform. How many liters of water are you supposed to be taking in a day? How do you monitor it? You're having vomiting and nausea. You need to go to the hospital every time. Do you know that out of 10 pregnant women that go through Preggify, 8 of them have not seen the gate of hospital because of vomiting? Do you know that we have home remedies that we give to them that has helped 8 out of 10 of them? Imagine if they had to go to hospital every time because of this. And what do we achieve at the end? It's a win-win situation. You have access to pregnancy care the way you want it. Nobody's telling you your time is up. Nobody's telling you, why do you come here 2 times in a day? Nobody's telling you, why are you talking to me at 12 a.m.? Nobody's telling you, wait for your turn. It's seamless. And you are not losing out in your workplace. You are stronger to face your work. You are stronger to go to work. You have, even if you're not going to work, you have enough time to rest. Technology has bridged that gap. If you're not assessing it and you are still struggling as a career woman, you are still struggling as a businesswoman, you are still struggling to assess pregnancy care the way you deserve, you are still having this anger in you that doctors are bad, you are having this anger in you that when you go to the hospital, they don't pay attention to you. Sweetheart, we are here. We are here. And as a matter of fact, since last year, we have done both in our free class, in our paid class, over 1,000 women and over 200 in our exclusive membership group. And we have not had a single bad review. I'm saying this on the Dawn's timeline so that they can come up. We don't have a single bad review. In fact, women that comes our classes, they go back and say, I know when she comes to our class, one week she went to her neighbor in her compound and said, you are pregnant, better come and join Preggify. So both of them are delivered now. We have women come to us and say, is this person that referred me? And guess what? It's not like this is an idea, but I'm telling you that all the clients who have attended to in our premium membership at Preggify have been done without any sponsored ad. It just through word of mouth, through referrals, and through my Facebook profile. And none of them have ever said, I regretted paying you at Preggify. In fact, when I show some of the reviews say, is it this whole thing that you guys are collecting 5,000 naira per month for? All these things, you are doing it for less than for $10, 5,000 naira per month. It's too much. And I told them it's fine. It's okay. You guys are safe. At this point, there's no urgent need for us to do something that women cannot afford, or women and their partner cannot afford. So what am I saying in essence? Remember that when people tell you to leave your job, when women are having difficulties in their pregnancy, the first advice they get is to leave their job. Resign now, go and take care of yourself. As a doctor, when I gave birth to our son, I went to look for a job. I know what a senior colleague told me, that women like me who are bearing children are not supposed to work until I'm done with childbearing. Like, let me remove my glasses and open my eyes very well. And I was like, wow. So I'm going to spend the next 10 to 15 years of my life just being a mother. It's not bad if that's what we want to do, but that's not what I want to do. And that's not what majority of people want to do. So if you tell women to go and stay, it's not just 5 years. Who is waiting for them after 5 years? Some of them don't come back. 5 years is a whole lot of gap in your career. And if you say, okay, I will carry on the career, I'm going to do pregnancy and everything at the same time, and you don't have a seamless system like Preggify supporting you, it's going to be very taxing. It's going to be very difficult. So you need to tell yourself the truth today. Do I just want to be a career woman, no family, no boyfriend, no man friend? I don't want. Good. But if you want to be a career woman, you want to enjoy your pregnancy, have your child, raise your own family, and still not miss out in the workforce, in your business, not miss out in business meetings, promotions, and all that. And you don't want to risk having pregnancy complications, losing your baby, or losing your life due to avoidable causes. You should be talking to us at Preggify. We are here. We have bridged that gap. We have been looking for you. We have been waiting for you. We have been waiting to save you. To tell you how possible it is for you to be an all-round woman. How possible it is for you to go through pregnancy and minimize complications, or even without complications. How possible it is for you to access pregnancy care from the comfort of your home. Whether it is drug reminders, our system is going to do it for you. Whether it's home drug refill, if you don't have time to refill your drugs, you're very busy, we are going to do it for you. Talking to a doctor at any time to clear your confusions, instead of going on Facebook group to say, hello mothers, I am 5 months pregnant and I am bleeding now. I just went to toilet and I cleaned and I saw blood and I want to know if this is normal. Hey, who is going to answer you? Who? Hello mothers in the house, please help me. This is the first time I just noticed that my leg is swelling and my head is getting bigger. Please, is it normal or abnormal? Why are you risking? Why are you risking your life? Why? Why don't you risk it when you have us? Why? Just tell me why. Put it in the comment section. Why? Why? And do you know that pregnancy preparation that we do at Preggify is not just when you are pregnant. We also do preconception. As a career woman, you should not jump into pregnancy just like that. We plan your pregnancy with you. So know whether this is even the right time for you. If you need to put structure, the way you put structure in business, you put structure in place for your pregnancy. 2, and plan it. Even if you are newly married, you also find it difficult to conceive. We have a program for you. And the one we did in April, we are having, like, April is just, we did April 30th. This is just July. And 3 women are already pregnant from the class. And after you have gone through our classes and you have given birth to your baby, do we leave you to be going like that? No. We still follow you up. Because you know that at that point you're a new mom. That's when all if it's Dr. Emeka, well, say Mama Yard. That's how all the Mama Yard will be coming with the advice. Keep your breast like this. Your breast is sore. Feed the baby like this. Feed the baby like this. Keep the baby left. Put the baby hot water. Put this one. That's the period you be rub the baby account, rub the baby pomade. That's the period you get advice that can ruin your baby's life or even your own life. So we are still there for you, even after you give birth to your baby. We have a post-birth class that you can join and ask your question 100 times in a day. We'll answer you. We'll answer you. And that one too, the academy is coming up. So that if you don't even want to join the community, you can go to the academy and pay as you click and be learning and be going, just to keep you safe. So I don't think there's a reason for ignorance at this point or for you to risk your job or your life during pregnancy. Preggify has made this possible. We just started officially barely a year ago, and we know the impact we have made. We have women from different parts of the country in Nigeria. We have women from Ghana, Niger Republic, UK, Canada, US. And none of these women have different experience as I'm talking to you. Even the women we're managing in the UK and other places, they have similar experience, access to care. They are all Nigerian women. They are in different parts of the world, but they still have limited access to care. And Preggify is bridging that gap. But borderless, all you need is just your phone and your data, and you are good. Okay? So this is, I think I've spoken so much, and yeah, this is what we do. And our aim, remember, is to make sure that your pregnancy period is good, seamless, easy. You have accessible care right where you are at the time you need it. Very important. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 30 minutes matters in pregnancy. And we even go as far as scrutinizing the hospital that you are registered in. I've said it severally. There are periods we change hospital for our clients because we don't want our effort to waste. We change hospitals. When we look at the hospital and it's not giving us like it's not giving, we change it. To avoid stories, we change them. We change hospitals. We have criteria. If they did not meet up, we change. There's a lot to benefit you, to keep you safe, and make sure that you are not inconvenienced in this pregnancy. And at every point you need care, you have access to it. Go to hospital only when it's needed. Take permission from your job only when it's needed, except you want to go and rest at home. Get pregnancy tips, get the education right where you are. Audio format, whether you're in transit or going to work, you can plug in your earpiece and listen to these teachings and just chat your questions on WhatsApp and you get your response. Okay? So thank you so much for listening to me, and I hope that we are able to serve you and give you the care that you deserve. And as time goes on, we are building, we are bringing in as more as we do interval review from our clients to ask them about our products, what they want in it, other challenges they are having. And trust me, because we are client oriented, we are bringing in features that these women, the feedback that we are getting to improve the services that we're putting out because we have you in mind. Thank you so much, Don, for having me.
Thank
I'm
you,
so
Ify, for this session. I don't know, as you were speaking, I don't know if people have questions, but I've not seen any question in the comment section. Um, I mean, you're very quite clear on what it is that you have been doing, regarding these challenges and what you're doing to solve these problems. Thank you so much, Ify, for um, this great session we had together. We are going to have another one, the one that I promised you. This one I didn't promise you this one, but the one that I promised you we're going to do come from maybe from another angle and specifically. Maybe we'll have to do it at night when career women have come back from work, maybe around 8 o'clock, maybe on a Sunday or on a Saturday. And then we'll have to do a real rigorous campaign for that. Get people, posting and getting on board, maybe get supporters in a WhatsApp group and help and let them help push the campaign. So that I promise you. I'm still in Owerri, but by the time I get back, I'll sort that out. Okay. So thank you so much, Ify, for this great chance, this opportunity that I've had with you to have this conversation. God bless you and the work you're doing. My regards to everybody in Preggify and your family and those who are supporting you on this push and this journey. Somebody's asking, okay, kindly drop the link to your group. Jerry Guma is asking,
Okay.
is it an open link? I don't know. Maybe Jerry you can reach out later. I don't know.
Okay, so we have a free community where women, whether you're pregnant, you are a young woman, you're still trying to get pregnant, we have a free community on WhatsApp where you can just be and interact with other people. It's from that group that we also do our live sessions on Wednesday, and then we raise topics there once in a while. Then we have exclusive. We also have a group on Facebook, Preggify Women on Facebook, where you can join. And then I have an email list. So maybe I'm going to make a post after this live and put those. But when you go to my timeline, there's a pinned post there. All those links and information are there. You can get it from there. And then my WhatsApp contact is there on my pinned post. On my pinned post.
All right. So Jerry, I think Jerry is a man. I think he must be. I don't know. Jerry is not married. Maybe he wants to.
You
He's
can shout
preparing.
me on WhatsApp. My link is on my pinned post. I can
I
send me a
know he's
DM on
preparing.
Facebook.
Jerry, I know he's preparing for the future. I think so. Or maybe he wants to spread it. Spread it to the people that he knows. Jerry, thank God for you. You are doing an evangelist work. I mean. All right. So thank you for this great session. Yeah, I mean, Faith, she said so. She said do you offer services for late postpartum mothers? I don't know what that means.
Yes, it's pediatric. So for babies that are above 1 year, they are supposed to be under pediatric unit, but those things are going to come up in a few weeks on our platform. We are automating it now to onboard external doctors that are not really like inside Preggify, so that people can have access to those pediatricians on the platform. Right now at Preggify, we are dealing with babies that are less than 6 months because that's the critical period also.
All right. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for this great session we've had. God bless you, Mifi, for the great work you're doing. All right. So from me to you, goodbye, everyone. God bless you. And please connect with her and make sure that we do things correctly. Bye.
Thank you so much. Yeah, bye.